story has focused attention on the hierarchy, the patriarchy who run the Mormon Church in Salt Lake City. Nowhere in the country does a church have more influence on the press, politics, business, even on the legal profession of one state, than does the Mormon Church in Utah. Which brings us to another story, another Mormon. A man named Garn Baum, who has been trying for 5 years to win an antitrust suit against the Mormons, the Church of Jesus Christ of the Latter-day Saints. And as Harry Reasoner found out, that is not easy in Utah.
One of our biggest problems doing this story in Mormon country has been getting people to talk to us. Church officials are reluctant to discuss Mormon financial matters, but they don't strongly dispute a recent report that put its income at well over $1 billion a year. From contributions, of course, but also from a multinational business empire. Hospitals, banks, shopping centers, publishing and broadcasting, and tens of thousands of acres of farmland and orchards. For the members of the Church of the Latter-day Saints, it's a dream finally realized. That's what's left of Garn Baum's dream. This rusting derelict used to be one of the finest fruit processing plants in all of Utah, located next to some of the finest orchards in the state, especially cherries, which have become a lucrative crop. High cherries alone have gone from 15 cents a pound 6 years ago to 50 cents a pound today. Hundreds of tons to be stemmed, pitted, and packed in 30-pound cans.
Each one of these tanks holds approximately 6 tons of cherries.
Garn and Peggy Baum used to process a large share of that fruit. They did it so well, they claim, that some competition, including an employee of the Mormon Church, conspired to get what they had. What they had was a plant built with Baum's own hands, from plans that are only in his head. He's a mechanical genius and a man possessed. His high is packing cherries a few seconds faster and a few cents cheaper than anybody else, and without pits. That's important because pits in cherry pies tend to cause lawsuits for restaurants.
So we invented a machine that would actually pit cherries in the pitless. We had a sample grading of, I think it was 8,000 and some odd cans graded, and there was a pit and a half in 8,000 cans. So I call it a pitless pack.
Baum's business depended almost totally on big growers in the Salt Lake Valley. He bought their fruit by the ton, processed and resold it to national distributors. But 5 years ago, something happened, and Baum claims it all began here. Alberta Farms, 14,000 acres of prime fields and orchards owned by the Mormon Church. Baum says that one Clyde Lunsford, who was closely associated with Alberta Farms, was a ringleader among a group of his competitors who started a whispering campaign, saying Baum was in financial trouble that year, would not be able to pay the growers for their cherries. One of the growers has said under oath, quote, "Lunsford told me the growers in Utah County are going to see to it that he don't get any cherries this year, and we'd advise you not to sell to Baum because you'll never get your money." Baum's banker insists Baum was financially sound that year, but the growers apparently listened to the rumors and took their business elsewhere, which prompted Baum's lawsuit against, among others, the Mormon Church. You're Mormon. Your family are Mormons. Why would the church do this to you?
Oh, it's been mind-boggling to me, the same question. And I think it all boiled down that there was a couple or three just greedy people that wanted what I had. So, and they were Mormons, and they were paid employees of the Mormon religion.
We asked for interviews with church officials close to the Baum case, but none came forward. Heber Wolsey is Director of Public Relations for the church. Has there been a conspiracy?
I can't talk for all of the ones that he's referring to, but as far as the church is concerned, I can give you an unequivocal answer that the church is not involved in a conspiracy against Mr. Baum. Everything that we did in this case we feel was legal and ethical and appropriate. We have no animosity toward him at all. We have no reason to want him to have difficulties.
The name that keeps cropping up when you talk to Mr. Baum is Clyde Lunsford. What's his position with the church?
He's not an official representative as far as making a decision. I better rephrase that. He's a consultant to the church on our church farm. But in this case, he is a defendant and we are defendants.
And the alleged boycott was only part of Baum's problem. The rest, he says, was political. And in the state of Utah, it's hard to separate the body politic from the Mormon Church. 70% of the population is Mormon. The entire congressional delegation and the governor are Mormon, as is 90% of the state legislature. It was here, to the state capitol, that Baum had to come for a license to operate his plant. One of his competitors was also an official of the State Department of Agriculture, which got a law passed permitting it to raise Baum's required performance bond from $25,000 to $100,000, more than ever before required from any processor. The department later investigated itself for possible conflict of interest and found itself not guilty. That was the last gasp for Garn Baum's processing plant. The property, valued at about $2 million, was sold at a sheriff's auction for $500,000. The buyer, the Mormon Church. If there is direct evidence linking high leaders of the church with the Baum case, we've not found it. But we did get a taste of what it's like for a Mormon to sue the Mormon Church in the state of Utah.